Hi, this is Indy and welcome to Wednesdays on ScotTrans. This week's topic is stealth and visible. So, this might be a little bit controversial, but obviously I'm answering this question from my perspective. So I'm not meaning to be offensive or patronising in any way. I'm literally just answering from my own opinion. As a trans person, I do understand why someone would want to be stealth. Stealth is basically concealing your trans identity. Most of the time it is for safety purposes. I think there are from my experience, there are a lot of people who go the reason for them being stealth is normally when approaching a job situation. So they will start a new job and they will be stealth into that job. Basically just because the whole trans thing can be an issue and can stop you from being employed basically in a lot of cases. So I do understand why some people would want to approach a job stealth. Obviously, I feel like it's quite unsafe to approach a job at stealth if you are in a position in your transition where you don't pass the majority of the time, just because it poses questions and actually could possibly put you in more danger. I just think that's maybe putting yourself in more jeopardy, maybe. So personally, I don't reject the idea of being stealth if it's for a safety reason. However, I am a trans activist. I do believe in being visible. Why wouldn't you be? You should be proud in yourself. You should be proud about what you've accomplished, the journey that you're going on as an individual. I firmly believe that to be stealth is kind of to reject everything that you have overcome as a trans person. I do understand there are trans people who do wish they were cisgendered. In my experience, if I was to claim that I was cis and go in stealth as a cis person, cis male, I would feel uncomfortable. I would feel like it's almost a ticking time bomb before they realise that I'm trans and have an issue. And I feel like if I were to go in stealth into a job or any situation really, I'm choosing a job as an example, and they were to accept me as a cis person and then later down the line realise, or I don't know, for whatever reason find out that I'm actually trans, I feel like that would cause a lot more of an issue than just being out about it. And I know a lot of people don't think that it should be a case of that you have to really disclose your trans identity. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of being trans. I'm proud of the journey that I'm on. I don't think it makes me stand out as an individual. I'm not ashamed of how people will view me. If they view me in a negative light, that's their problem. A lot of work I do is based around education and educating about different genders and how gender kind of impacts society and how society works with regards to gender. And I feel like if I were to be stealth, it would reject everything that I really work for. Yeah. Also, you would just be really paranoid. You would just I wouldn't be able to make relations in a workplace if I was going in stealth. I would just be way too paranoid, biting my nails even further down than they're already down, in anxious mess. When it comes to things like jobs and work, everybody needs money to survive. But for me, it does come down to my own personal safety and my happiness. I want to work for a company or a place that's going to be celebratory of their different, of their diversities within the workplace. I don't want to be working for somewhere that is not happy having a trans person on their team. I don't want to work somewhere that I feel the pressure to say that I am one person when I'm not that person. It's conflicted. I see the pros and cons of being stealth, and I see the pros and cons of being visible, but my personal choice would always be to be visible. A lot of people in this world who are trans and don't have the support and are living in an environment where it would harm their existence to be themselves. I'm not in a position like that 99% of the time. I do understand my privilege as like a white binary identifying trans individual, and I would always choose to be visible for that. An activist for the rights of trans people. Well, we're here, like, we're here, and me, we're here, and like everyone who's on this channel, and I'm proud of that. Like, I'm not ashamed of that. And I'm not saying to be stealth is to be ashamed, but I would feel guilty for hiding my trans identity. It's obviously not the only identifier I have, but I am proud of it. I've gone through a lot of stuff, like I've had a lot of negative and positive experiences just because I am trans, and they have built me as a person. So I want people to know that, like, it's a big part of me. It's not a hobby. It's not something I do. It's who I am. I'm not for any reason shouting about it. I just want people to know, like, that trans people can exist everywhere. They do exist everywhere, whether you see them or not. And I want to be seen. I want to be there for other trans people who are in a bad position to be able to look at and be like, well, he's doing it, so maybe I can too. And you can. Obviously, if it would impact your personal safety, don't do it. Like, that just goes without saying, so just be mindful of that. Also, I think for me, like, as a trans activist, like, with everything that I do to educate about trans identities, like, I don't want to blend. Like, I don't want to be personally one of those trans men so overcome with the toxic masculinity of cis-normative behaviour that they feel that they can't express themselves. Like, that's not me. So I would never do that. But then again, that may be other people. And I'm not saying that's a negative thing. I do understand everyone's different. But I also know I'll always be here and be visible. I do respect my trans siblings who choose to be stealth. It goes without saying, you are trans enough. And you're doing you. So just keep on doing you. This has been Wednesday with Indie. I'll see you next week. Look at this little flick. That's when you know the devil is in you. Stay gold.